Switching subjects now to our community's local hospitals. Many of you have been reading about the many good things happening at both Rideout and Fremont hospitals. Tonight, the Director of Public Relations for Rideout and Fremont joins us with cardiologist Dr. Henry Lui. Welcome to the Medical Explorer. Thank you for being here tonight. Mr. Arrowsmith, is Rideout and Fremont really the same institution? We hear about the combining of services or administrations. What's actually going on there?
Well, the hospitals have not actually merged, although the boards of directors of both institutions are acting as a single board. The hospitals are maintaining their integrity and their separateness, but are being directed by one body that governs the procedures and the general operation of both institutions.
So what really makes them different institutions, really? They're really, as the directors start becoming unified, someday we'd hope the medical staffs would all be one medical staff, but we really become one hospital with two centers, a Yuba City Center and a Marysville Center.
That's what we really look forward to, yes.
Wonder what we'll call it. The Rideout Fremont, or the Fremont Rideout. We won't know what we're doing.
One thing we can't call it is the free ride because of the expenses, but that's another story.
That's for sure. We'll get into that, too. We hear of corporations like Kaiser or Humana or Hospital Corporation of America who are going out trying to buy up hospitals. In Colusa, Republic Corporation bought their hospital. Is any corporation involved in the running of Rideout or Fremont?
No, actually not. The board has felt, and even before the merger of the two boards, each of the groups of individuals have felt that the community hospitals reflect very nicely now what the community wants and needs in a hospital, whether it be Fremont or Rideout. And to sell these facilities to some chain, we immediately lose the personal touch that normally is associated with a community hospital. And we want it to stay that way. No, there is no chain or running it now nor in the future that we can see.
These chains that I mentioned, not what's here now, but these other chains that have considered trying to get in, which they are not able to do, are for-profit chains. They're on the stock market. They're trying to make money for their stockholders, and that's not happening here in our hospitals. Our hospitals are not profit hospitals.
That's correct, and it's hard to define non-profit or not for-profit when a person has to realize that there must be some space between what is charged and what the cost of service is, if only to replace equipment.
Right, there has to be a little bit of profit above the, well, not really, I don't know if profit's the right word, but a little bit of income above the actual cost of materials and supplies and employment in the hospital to buy new things and to build new things. And we're going to talk about some new things going on, and some of that money, I bet, has come from that.
That's right, yes.
So everything that's above what actually it costs goes back into the hospital. And we read things in the paper about tax difficulties and confusing things with property taxes, which is all going to be taken care of very well, that really don't make a lot of sense, because these hospitals in our town put money back right into the hospital and the community.
Well, that's the whole program. There's no person or stockholder or company that's making money. The money that is generated is plowed right back into the community for better service to our local people.
What is the function of the hospital's institutes or foundations or whatever the terminology is for these groups? What do they do?
Well, basically, these institutes are formed by volunteer citizens who have a strong feeling for the institutions they represent. They volunteer time and effort to put on programs. Fundraising is one of their efforts. For instance, the polo match that we had back in August, that was a direct function of the Fremont Development Foundation.
Who actually runs the hospitals? Is it one man or a group of people? I don't really understand that myself.
Well, when you say runs the hospital, we have one administrator for both hospitals. That's Mr. Tom Hayes here in the local community. And his direction is given by the board of directors. They plan the long-range procedures as far as whether we'll build or not build, acquire more land, try to stay on the forefront of technology, whether we would be better to wait until on a new piece of equipment, see how it works. These decisions come from the board. The administrator does just that. He administrates this policy.
He'll make the decision regarding personnel matters or day-to-day operation of the hospital, and general policy he'd go back to the board.
With the help of his staff and his departmental directors, yes.
I see. Are there any unique services now being offered at Rideout or Fremont, new things coming in the horizon?
Well, we, of course, have ongoing hematology and oncology clinics at Rideout. They are put on every Wednesday by appointment, and as a group of people that require or are interested in this type of service, let that be known to their local physician, then appointments are made and these are followed through. Pardon me.
What about this new cardiac cath lab I hear about? Is that coming?
That's coming. As a matter of fact, ground is being broken now. I say ground is being broken. The sidewalk is being torn up, and the things that go along with that sort of procedure. Yes, we're underway.
Maybe I could ask Dr. Lui, who's one of our community's super expert cardiologists. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. Thank you for being here today. Could you tell us about what goes on in this, or what will go on in this new cardiac cath lab?
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here and glad to be in this community. I've been here about a year and a half now, helping to organize this new facility. Actually, there have been a lot of patients who have heart problems in this area, and when I first came, I didn't realize the scope of the problem, but it is still the #1 killer in the country, and we have a lot of heart patients here who have actually gone to Sacramento to have this procedure done, or a lot of procedures done regarding the heart. And this, we have now broken ground, and we will be able to do, hopefully by either the end of this year or by early next year, procedures that will be able to diagnose heart disease, either of valve problems, of heart muscle problems, or even coronary heart disease, which involves heart catheterization. And I have some catheters here that is actually what we use in the heart cath lab.
So these tubes are actually placed into a blood vessel and then run into the heart, where you can inject dye and take a look at some very interesting things.
That's right. We obtain a lot of information, and it's the kind of equipment that we have not had available in this area because it is very expensive, and also we have not had the expertise before. I actually am glad to be a part of this. I'm not the only one who's helping to organize it. I'm part of a big team.
We are definitely going to have you back on a show coming up very soon to discuss more about cardiac catheterization and your work in the field of cardiology. Right now we just have to sort of close off the show. I just want to ask you very quickly, Mr. Arrowsmith, how can people in the community help the hospitals to let this expansion take place? What can they do? Well,
really, I think maybe you'd like to think of that question in reverse. What can the hospitals do for the people? That's our function. Our role in the community is to serve the community in every way possible. And I think that with the addition of this cath lab that we just spoke of, that it will preclude the need for going to Sacramento. Procedures can be done here at the convenience of our people. That's what we will be doing for the people. The people, all they have to do is know that it's available.
And consider using some of the services in the community.
That's what it leads to, yes.
Right. I'd like to thank Mr. Arrowsmith and Dr. Lui for joining us on the Medical Explorer tonight. Perhaps we could talk you both into coming back on a future program, and we will definitely have Dr. Lui back with us very, very soon. Well, that's our program for tonight. I'd like to invite you to write to me at my dermatology and allergy office in Yuba City with your suggestions for areas and people that you'd like to see on this program. The Medical Explorer, as you know, is a public service program, and I really do want to hear from you with your comments and suggestions. Please write to me at the Skin and Allergy Medical Group of Yuba City at 367 Del Norte Avenue, 95991. In my next program, the Medical Explorer will take you behind the scenes of more interesting frontiers of medical care practices in the Yuba City and Marysville area. Till next time, I'm Dr. Robert Peppercorn, your Medical Explorer. Thank you for joining us tonight, and have a good evening.